Comunidade do Teacher Murilo. Welcome back. In today's episode, we'll focus on reading and pronouncing years and important dates in English. Knowing how to say dates correctly is essential for business, history, and everyday conversations. Let's start with the 20th century. Most years are split into two parts. Take 1999, for example. We say 1999. Same with 1984, 1984. Easy, right? Now jump to the year 2000. That's where things change. We don't say 2000. Nope, it's just 2000. Same for the years right after. 2001, 2007, 2009. But then something interesting happens. Around 2010, people start saying it in two ways. Some stick with 2010, while others shorten it to 2010. And from 2020 onward, the 20 pattern wins. So now we say 2023, 2035, just like we did with years in the 1900s. See the trick? The year 2000 kind of broke the pattern, but now we're back on track. So next time you see a year, just remember, before 2000 split it. After 2020, say it like the old days. And the 2000s? Well, they just had to be different. We also describe time periods in different ways. First up, a decade, that's 10 years. Think about the 90s. The 1990s were a great decade for music. Next, we have a century, which is 100 years. If you were born in 2000, congrats. You were born at the start of a new century, the 21st century, to be exact. And then there's a millennium, a big one. That's 1,000 years. The year 2000 wasn't just a new century. It was a new millennium. The second millennium ended, and the third began. So whether you're talking about a decade, a century, or a millennium, just remember the numbers. 10, 100, 1,000. Now let's practice specific time references. When talking about specific time periods, we use words like early, mid, and late to be more precise. The early 90s. This means the beginning of the 1990s, around 1990 to 1993. Example. Grunge music became popular in the early 90s. The mid-2000s. This refers to the middle of the 2000s, around 2004 to 2006. Example. Social media started booming in the mid-2000s. The late 80s. This means the end of the 1980s, around 1987 to 1989. Example. Synth pop was huge in the late 80s. So, when describing a time period, just think, early equals beginning, mid equals middle, late equals end. Some years have special meanings. A leap year is a year with an extra day in February. The next leap year is 2024. Numbers tell time, define history, and help us describe events. Try saying some historical dates in English today. See you in the next episode.